Remember all we had. How could we get this bad? Where did we lose our glow?
Good morning everyone, Laraka here. Very exciting day, early morning, you can hear the roosters. Today we're going on an aerial photography trip over Reunion Island. I haven't been flying with ultralight aircrafts since 2008 when I photographed humpback whales on the same island with the same flying company, so that's pretty excited. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully I can get some great shots and showcase the island from above, so let's go.
Laying in your bed, fighting ghosts in my head. Wish that I could let you go. Remember all we had. How could we get this bad? Where did we lose our glow? You live, you learn. When your heart is set to burn, fading away until the light will return. Someone bring me back to the time when our hearts unite. Bring me back to the time when our hearts unite.
How awesome was this? I had such a good time, such a good time. The sensations are amazing when you open a door and you feel just like yeah, flying in the air. It was absolutely awesome. And yes, I think I got a few good shots, and hopefully you enjoyed the videos and I was able to showcase what it's like to be out there taking photos. And now, before I show you guys the actual photos, because I haven't processed them, and some more videos, I have to go back to Australia. I have a flight to catch in a few hours, but for you guys it'll be a few seconds, so stay tuned. See you in a few seconds, and I'll be showing you what I got, how I got it, and yeah, my advice on how to get aerial shots and things like that. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed Reunion Island from above. Alright, and we are back in Australia, and actually a few months later. It's beginning of February and I shot this mid-December, but yeah, got busy in the meantime. Doesn't really matter. Edited the photos, the videos. Hope you enjoyed all the footage from before, showing you the island from above. So let's get right into it, and I'll show you guys my favorite photos of this little aerial photography trip. So I'll start with the ones I took with my actual camera. So a lot of the villages that I've photographed there actually have no roads going to them, and they get their groceries delivered by helicopter. And it makes for great hiking as well. I've been hiking all the way through there, and yeah, it's really fun. So if you ever go to Reunion Island, I recommend this. And I got some really nice shots, or some shots that I really like with the GoPro as well. So I made sure I shot in RAW so that I could work on the images probably afterwards. But yeah, it was a great combination with the DSLR because the GoPro is so wide. I kept it on ultra wide mode so that I could capture a bit of a different frame, different images. So now I'm going to give you some advice about photographing from ultralight aircraft like that. So one of the main things is to, of course, call up beforehand, and when you book, just ask questions. Make sure that taking photos is fine, because depending on the model of the ultralight aircraft you get, you might not be able to take photos. So some of them have the engine behind you and you can't have anything that's not attached to you in your hands. So on the morning I was flying, a girl came up and she was really excited for her flight, and but didn't know what she was gonna fly with, and ended up not being able to take her mobile phone with her. That's why she had to take photos, because she had one of the ultralight aircraft with an engine behind, and you just can't do that, because if she drops it, it will go straight through the propeller, and then it's a bit of a problem. So yeah, just call up and just let them know that you want to take photos, and they'll be able to tell you yes, no, maybe rebook another time where a better aircraft is available or something like that. Number two, know your camera, and I keep on repeating this, and it's the same for like every type of photography or filming. If you spend your time looking at trying to find the ISO button or trying to understand what shutter speed is again when you're in the air, things happen really fast, just like wildlife photography. So if you're not familiar with your gear, you will miss shots. So just know your gear. Even with your GoPro, make sure you know like what button changes the menu. Make sure it's set up to the photo format and the photo size or the video frame rate or anything beforehand, so you have the least amount of thing to fiddle with in the plane, and you can just focus on taking the photos and enjoying the views. One of the pros of flying with ultralight aircraft versus helicopter is the price. It's much cheaper, but because they're not as powerful as helicopters, you won't be able to fly with open door the whole time, at least if you're doing a flight at higher altitude, like we did going over the mountains, the pass and everything. If you're flying along the ocean, you will be able to have the doors open most of the time. But so yeah, it's another thing to consider. It's making sure you know what sort of flying you'll be doing and if you'll be able to have a lot of open door time or not, and just be ready for that. So when I didn't have the door open, I was just enjoying the view, looking around, chatting with the pilot, and that's really fun as well. So, but it's just a matter of being ready when he says, I'm going to open the door, you have 3-4 minutes to take photos now. You got to be ready for that. So that ties back into the fact that you really need to know exactly what you're doing, or at least like have a good understanding of your camera. Shooting RAW always helps, better for post-processing. Even on the GoPro, not everyone knows that GoPros can actually shoot RAW and do a pretty good job at it as well. Even mobile phones can shoot RAW, and that really helps with shooting in tough light conditions or grading the way you want afterwards. Those are my few tips. I'll just re-summarize them quickly. Get info about your flights, what type of aircraft you'll be flying, if you can take photos or not. Make sure you know your cameras or camera or mobile phone. Just make sure you're familiar with it. It goes a really long way. And then make sure that everything is set up in RAW if your device has the capacity, because it will be much better for you to process RAW images than JPEG afterwards. All right, let's talk about the gear I used for this trip. I used my Canon 1DX2 with the 24-70 f4, the stabilized one. Love that lens, one of my favorite. I might be doing a video just about it and showing why I like it so much and why I use it so much and why it's so good for my type of work. But yeah, I use the 24-70. It gives you a good range of, you can get some landscape shots wide, and then you can zoom in a bit closer to the villages or some features of the landscape you're photographing. As a second camera, I had the GoPro ready and set up on a RAW ultra wide so that I could get a complete different perspective, include a bit of the plane in. Again, I think those two worked really well together and I got a decent range of images. Setting wise, you might want to try and keep your shutter speeds on the higher side just to compensate those vibration and the fact that the plane is moving. They'll give you better chances of getting sharp images. All right, I think that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the advice. If you have any more questions about aerial photography or very specific ones, please let me know in the comments. I'll try and see if I can answer them. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next vlog.